Hey guys, it's Robert Gardner with the Robert Gardner Wellness podcast. I have John Ojeda here today. I hope I pronounced it correctly. I have to ask this every time
Absolutely,
I
you're good.
introduce anybody. There's no standardization for name pronunciation. So,
Right.
John commented on a Facebook business page post that I made, and we were talking about professional issues for massage therapists. And I think what I'll have you do, John, is just like introduce yourself, where you live, what you do. Do a little bit of background, maybe where they can find you, like via your website.
Yeah. I am John Ojeda. I've been a massage therapist for I think about 13 years now. I am located in the California Bay Area, and massage therapy changed my life. About 14, 15 years ago, I had a car accident that when I was 17 that put me in a lot of debilitating pain for a long time. And it wasn't until I got my first massage, I think at 27, that things really changed for me as far as information and knowledge of the body. I had done physical therapy, I had done ultrasound stuff, I had done the opiates that were popular back in the early 2000s and 90s, and nothing helped until I found massage therapy. And it helped so much that I had to really dive in and figure out why.
Awesome. Do you have like a specific website they can find you?
Yeah. So my office website is alamedawellnesscollective.com.
Okay.
And you can also find me on Facebook at John Ojeda.
Okay. I'll make sure there's like links here or whatever.
Great.
What drew you into the conversation I had on the business page?
I've been following you actually for quite a while for different reasons. Yeah, I like your content. I like your the cut of your jib.
Yeah.
I think that is something that I was trying to address back in 2019 and 2020 as well. I did create a page of my own called Extra Life Massage Therapy, and I was drawing people into that page for exactly that, asking questions about the industry, trying to understand what people were going through. Like I said before, I had been a guest on the Two Massage Therapists and a Microphone podcast back in 2020, 2021 as well.
Yeah.
So I love the industry. I was involved very briefly with the California State Massage Therapy Championships. I really love the industry. I'm a little bit involved. I'm mostly involved in my own private practice, but I like to be aware of what's happening. So I tend to follow mostly massage therapists on my Facebook page, just to get an idea of everybody's perspective, what they're looking for. Because one of these days, I'll put a little bit more effort into being more present. I think in the social media space, and I think a lot can change, but it does take effort, and it makes me curious as to maybe why things aren't happening faster. But I think I kind of have an idea.
Yeah, there's okay, so 13 years. Mine is coming up on 24.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm 48 years old. Half of my life has been involved in like massage and like massage stuff at this point. Like, I feel old at this point. And
sounds like you need a massage.
Oh, I don't think there's a massage that can like work out the issues in my soul that have like creeped in all these years later. Like, it's
you gotta come visit me.
Well, when I teach when I teach therapists, I have to go, guys, I graduated in 2002.
Yeah. That's before a lot of people were born.
There was no YouTube. And they're like,
Right.
Wait, what? And I'm like, YouTube did not exist.
Right.
They're like, oh my God, there were no YouTube tutorials? And I'm like, no. Like, the conversation in the industry has changed so much. And I think part of the issue is it's like massage itself is still hands-on. That hasn't changed much.
Sure.
But all of the technology around it, from websites, social media, online scheduling software, everything has changed so drastically that when
Yeah.
people ask me, well, like, what book should we use in massage school? And I'm like, if it's in a book, it's already outdated.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Technology, our information has moved much quicker than I think everybody can digest and implement, and that's a huge thing. And what modality, what interests are you taking to your massage therapy practice? Because you can come at it from a lot of directions. My background is from psychology. Initially, like I was going to become mental health therapist. So I spent quite a few years studying psychology, and in 2020 I ended up starting a family and having kids. So I put that on the back burner, but that was always my main interest, was like human behavior. So when I think about massage therapy, I am applying a lot of those concepts to my practice.
I don't, I mean, I could already tell, like, we had the little conversation and you said something about the parable of the cave. And I'm like, oh, this conversation is going to go well. But
Yeah.
I told a colleague recently, like, after 24 years, I have to remind myself that the majority, not all, but the majority of the students that I'm teaching are like fledgling massage therapists.
Mhm.
They're not in my space intellectually after
Yes.
24 years in the industry. Like I can't,
You got to hold their hand
you can't
through a lot of stuff.
compress that and
Yep.
then like the people who I think would understand where I'm going go, Robert, you're completely overwhelming me. Like
Yes.
this is, in other words, it's like we thought you were doing this, but you're, and I'm like, yeah, I can't get people to follow me. They're not capable of processing like, in other words, I, to my knowledge, am one of the only educators who is regularly told this. When students
Yeah.
get inside a class and they work with me and I work and work and I'm like, come on, let's go, let's go. Not just what we're doing in class, but like, here's where we're going to go. They're
Yes.
like, hold on, this isn't massage. And I'm like,
Yes.
wow, Eric Dalton is never told that.
Right.
James Wisłowski is never told that.
Yeah.
Ida Rolf was not really ever told that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. I mean, legally, I understand because I have a lawyer and I know massage law, but it's like they're not discussing soft tissue manipulation. They're discussing the cultural box they were delivered in school, which I'm like,
Yes.
no, we're going to change this. And they're like, it's
Can't,
almost
does
like,
not compute.
well, it's almost like I had to think about this. It's almost like a police officer or a fireman, like a doctor. There are certain jobs where it's very hard to take it off when you go home.
Yeah.
I am a fireman. I am a doctor. I am a massage therapist. So when I go and question this box, it's not what they do for a living, it's their sense of identity begins to change. And they're like, no, but we had this identity built up through school. And I'm like, I don't think you can hold on to that and really go where I'm trying to get you to go.
Right. And it's about, do you want to do deep tissue, or do you want to help someone reach their goal in feeling better about themselves and performing better? And those two might not always exist together. Because if you're only doing one type of practice or modality, like if somebody has a major injury, Swedish isn't going to cut it for everything. So, but if like that's the only thing you're thinking, you're like, no, 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 this is massage. And this is like an ongoing discussion about what massage is, because each state kind of defines it differently as far as education. And I follow another organization, the Massage Therapy Nexus, on Facebook, who's doing a lot of great posts. But there's often discussions about what that is, how it's implemented, and then I guess there's this new compact system that's happening, which I'm not necessarily super familiar with. So, you know, I have a trouble with it because it's like, how do I recommend to people that I know who are maybe in another state or going somewhere else? It's like, well, what do I do? And it's like, I don't know. Because unless I talk to the practitioner or
Yeah.
unless I have received their work, like I don't know what they're doing, how effective they're going to be for the person receiving. And that's dynamic depending on what they have and what they've experienced.
Yeah. It's very like common sense to me, but I think
Right.
that unfortunately in my specific industry, I've done it for so long that
You're it.
I don't
You're
have
the
any,
thing.
I don't know. I don't have a beginner's mind. Like it's just, I'm so entrenched in it for so long. I just can't look at it the same way I did when I was in massage school. Like it was just, learning the anatomy, learning the basics, figuring it out. But I didn't really start learning until I started working on clients.
Yeah.
And then like, there's definitely a thing like you got to pay your dues to play the blues. And it's like, I did the work to become hated. It's like,
Perfect.
I have no idea why I help people. The public loves it, but the therapists are like, why are you? And I'm like,
So I got an answer for that actually.
can we do it a better way?
Yeah, and I think when somebody's saying like a better way, it's a way they can understand. But like psychologically, there is resistance to being confronted, or you're having your identity confronted with somebody who maybe is more knowledgeable than you. It's an unconscious thing, but it threatens your identity, and that threat creates an aversion. So even though you're trying to like be helpful, there is a process that might be a little bit slower than you're willing to maybe go. It is an extremely slow process, and I think the best way for me, in my experience, and I think maybe teaching others, is hands on. Can you do this process hands on with somebody and walk them through it consistently enough to make it safe for them to implement that information? And the key word being safely, because there's going to be unconscious things that come up that prevent somebody from even maybe noticing, being willing. And it's not necessarily a logical thing, because I think somebody can say, "Oh, I want to learn that, Robert. This is such an amazing thing," and then when they get into that position, who knows what happened in their past that's going to prevent them from actually, digesting. That's my interpretation.
Yeah, I don't. I'm confused. I don't pretend to understand it completely. I just
I've run into the same situation, which is why I can relate.
so
I've held
basically, and I have this conversation, and somebody will go, "Well, who says it's not massage?" And I'm like, "Massage therapists."
Yes.
The public doesn't care if you call it underwater basket weaving. They're like, "Yo, that pain in my back is gone. Where the hell did you learn this?" And I'm like,
Yes.
"A drunk driver taught me when I was 22."
Exactly.
Like,
But that's information you can't teach somebody ethically.
effectiveness.
Yes.
Like literally, it's like, okay, I taught Thai massage. I wrote 700 pages of sequence manuals and 9 DVDs to get them started.
Yeah.
And the first 54 pages, they're like, "This is overwhelming." And I'm like, mastery might take a lifetime.
Yes. Yes. Because it took you a long time to get to that point. And you're like, well, let me just like not have you take 10 years to learn this thing that I learned. Let's give you a little bit of a head start and I'll walk you through the process. And you have these workshops. I see your posts quite often. You got models coming in and you're doing the videos, and it's really active. Like I actually want to talk to you about the maybe the law and the lawyer stuff as well. Because I think when you start to implement things that are effective, you are essentially moving outside of scope of practice.
So, dude, it's like this conversation, because I have a lawyer and I've had to have rough conversations where my lawyer charges $400 an hour. He's a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
Like I
You don't want
wish.
to talk to him all that
Well,
much.
I wish I either had enough money to have long conversations with him, or
Yeah.
he was my friend, so I could have the real deal behind the scenes stuff. And
Yeah.
basically, there's nothing that I'm teaching that operates out of scope of practice in Texas
Okay. Okay.
at all.
Mhm.
But it's like therapists, on the whole, in my experience, have never read state law. They've had that
Yes.
law interpreted to them by massage schools.
Mhm.
And when I go, no, I read it. I should have been a lawyer. And they're
Yeah.
like, you mean you? And I'm like, yeah, I read the law I operate under because I need to understand what the barriers are because I don't want to
Yep.
do illegal stuff.
Yep.
But culturally, what happened was there was enough of my work that changed, but fundamental assumptions where it
Yeah.
was like massage basically was table cream, glide, and nudity. I took
Yep.
away the table, took away the cream, took away the glide, took away the nudity, and they said, what you teach isn't massage. And I'm like, great, then we don't need licenses in all 50 states. And they went,
Exactly.
no, you can't. And I'm like, eh,
And the thing is,
eh,
at least in the Bay Area here, there's
eh.
plenty of people who practice without a license.
Well,
Plenty of people.
California, if correct me if I'm wrong, because it is different state to state.
Yes.
The state of California doesn't have state licensure. They have like,
No requirement.
okay, so is there a certification like a,
There's a certification, and as far as I understand, it's 500 hours.
yeah,
But the only differentiation is calling yourself a therapist, which also like nobody cares about.
yeah,
Like the general public doesn't care. They go to get chair massage at a mall. They go to other places that are cheap, maybe
yeah.
$30 an hour, and they get what they think is massage. And when somebody comes in to see me and they report, oh yeah, I've had massage. I go to these places, the mall, and these places that are massage. Like that's what you do, right? And I'm like, no, no. No, but I'm willing to show you. I'm going to walk you through it slowly, and this is
Yeah.
going to be our introduction, and it's going to be vastly different in a very good way.
So what was the scope of practice or like the lawyer, like legal questions you're dealing with?
I'm not necessarily dealing with any, but as far as questions, like, do you think it's necessary? Do you think every massage therapist should have an understanding of the law? And as far as my personal practice, as far as hands-on, what is said, like, what are the legal boundaries that somebody
So
should be aware of as
in
far as what you know?
in Texas, and I have to narrow this down, and
Yeah.
I can give a lot of information
Mhm.
because essentially what happens is you don't bump into scope of practice until your practice expands to a point where you're like, oh. Or if you're teaching like I do, then you have a different set of laws because now you have to give CE credit across state lines and you're hitting another state's laws or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
until your practice expands, it doesn't seem real necessary to have conversations about it.
Yeah.
But
As far as the thought experiment, though,
yeah,
like let's just pretend that we're
two
we're
things
bumping
two
into the edge.
things like happen in terms of like massage regulation in Texas.
Mhm.
One, do you call it massage?
Yeah.
Okay. Does money change hands?
Yes.
Then you need a massage license.
Right.
Now, if you don't call it massage or money doesn't change hands,
Yeah.
but if those two things happen together, you need a massage license.
So the thing is, though, if you were to take this to other states, then the language would have to be very specific, and then you wouldn't be able to call it necessarily massage. You'd have to change your language depending on what state you're in. And that's kind of my question, is because if something is effective, wouldn't that be a higher value to somebody than maybe a massage modality that isn't as effective? Why do we have 350 different massage modalities that are essentially confirmed at this point? You know, are we trying to reach things that are more effective, or are we trying to I don't even know, like, just be creative with this thing. I've heard interpretations like, oh, massage is art and everybody does it differently. I'm like, I don't know if that's the most effective way to go about things, especially
Well,
for the end consumer.
yeah. The challenge with like coloring outside the lines is you can do effective work, but there's a two-pronged issue in terms of legality and then like
Mhm.
marketing and advertising. If you're selling something that now isn't massage,
Yeah.
and just to use myofascial release as an example,
Yep.
like, does the public know what myofascial release is?
Absolutely not.
And it's like, so can you do myofascial release without a license? And when I say that, the therapists are like, wait, and I'm like,
Yeah.
legally, dude, it's like the conversations with my lawyer sound like episodes of Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul.
Right, right,
And my
right.
lawyer's a good guy. Like, he's basically like, Robert, you're an entrepreneur, you're looking for the edges. My job is to keep you out of prison. Before
Yeah,
you
yeah.
make big moves, contact me. And I do. But the therapists in my classes, I sometimes teach via my cameras. And when I'm teaching via my cameras, I've got like a keyboard switcher I made out of a calculator, this Wi-Fi. So I can
Cool.
switch camera angles while I'm teaching.
That's awesome.
I've sat with a student who's an apprentice. They have somebody, 10's hospital, 0's no pain. The person's at a 6. They work on them for 30 minutes in a sequence that I help them devise on the spot to work on their person because I'm watching through the cameras. The client goes, can we work on my shoulder now? And I'm like, wait, hold on. Wait, before we go work on your shoulder, what happened? And they're like, oh, it's gone. And I'm like, hold on. You were at a 6 on a pain scale. You're telling me, and they're like, yeah, it's gone. I'm at a 0. I can look at the student through the camera. So one, they're learning online, something massage therapists tell me is completely impossible.
Mm-hmm.
We did it interactively from 4 camera angles. And I can tell that the student is looking at me through the camera as if to say, well, did I do it right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's called next level pain relief for a reason.
Yeah.
Their pain is gone. Like,
Right.
I don't understand, how can it be effective? How can it be easily accessible? And the therapists go, I don't want that. I don't want that.
Exactly. That is something that I think is frustrating, because then what are we doing in the first place? If you want to, light the candles, close the drapes, and turn down the lights and play Enya, like that's cool. Like, I like that too every now and then. But because I have an experience with pain, after accidents and different stuff, like I used to skateboard as well, and I would throw myself off stairs and do all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, I have had plenty of injuries, and I enjoy having pain relief. And I think I'd say most, if not all, of my clients come in for that reason, is they want to take the memory off of their body of the last week of working out, of being in stress, of commuting, of whatever is going on in their life. They're just like, I'm carrying this stuff and I want to feel differently when I walk out. Can you do that? And that is something that in my practice I've learned to do effectively. I'd say 99.9% of the time. And that is how I get retention, is like, I am effective. This is the way that I do it. And I can't guarantee results, I think, legally, but it's like, I tell my client, like, I've got a pretty good track record.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, there was a weird spot where I basically felt like a mechanic who
Yeah.
continued to refine, how do you fix a car, repair the car, make it run better. And then you did it, and the other mechanics looked at you and said, that's not being a mechanic.
I love that. I definitely am in my practice going even in a slightly different direction. I understand that we as therapists are facilitating a process, but I think I really trust the human body at this point and its design. And I think in a lot of ways, we're facilitating a process where the body can like heal itself, and like that's happening. And even though you're doing a sequence that facilitates that process, the intelligence is within the body, within the nervous system in the brain. When you're pushing on something, you are participating, but the body is doing the thing. You're never going to be able to force a muscle to release.
Yeah.
The muscle releases based on what is it? Conditions that are being met, whether it's through force, heat, pressure, all of those kind of things. So in that way, I'm starting to interpret what it means when somebody is even out of pain, or how they stay in that place in the first place. I think even discomfort, pain, compensation, it's all for a reason. It is a perfect system, and that the pain continues throughout a person's life because conditions aren't met for that pain to be released. So if I break my leg and I continue marathon running on a broken leg, my body's going to be like, well, no, you're still doing the thing that really sucks. Let me make this more painful for you, so that way we stop doing this thing. Because there's a part of my brain that's like, well, no, I'm going to push through. And there's another part of my brain that's saying, we're just going to stop you. We're just going to end this behavior by creating conditions that require you to lay down. And until conditions are met, you will not be able to do the things that you enjoy doing.
The weird legal lines, like you talked about modalities.
Yeah.
You get to this point of like, okay, stretch therapy, no license.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Rossiter,
become huge.
No license.
Yeah.
Body tempering, no license. Yoga and yoga therapy, no license.
Right.
And then it's like, so next level pain relief. And they're like, oh no, you have to have a license. And I'm like, I play, or how do I say this? Generally, I've been quoted, and I have said this, that I'm generally opposed to massage regulation and licensure. That makes a lot of therapists angry at me, but they're not understanding the full spectrum of the conversation, nor are they discussing the parable of the cave as we have legal conversation in a Zoom-based podcast with, James Webb Telescope iconography playing in the background. So it's like, past a certain point, massage becomes another box, which was actually slowing down business growth. It became this weird thing where it was like, it was too pigeonholed and you couldn't like continue to expand. And normally when students start going, no, but scope of practice. And it's like, but they haven't read in Texas, they haven't read state law to actually know what the scope of practice is. And if I start asking, okay, can massage therapists do intraoral work with like gloves on? And they're like, well, and it's like, they don't know. Can massage therapists do abdominal work? Can massage therapists do breast massage? And they're like, and it's like, well, I'm just discussing Texas. Like once you get to other states, like you have to be a little more, do a little research to like figure out, what's going on. So,
and those are touchy topics.
Well, like,
because I know Massage Envy didn't allow for glute work as well as abdominal work and chest work. They eliminated a lot of areas that were, I think, necessary for significant improvement for a lot of clients. And, I think the general practice for a lot of therapists is to just do prone work for an hour and then never turn a client over. That is like one of my huge pet peeves. I don't want to be face down for more than 45 minutes, let alone like 90 minutes to 2 hours. I want to feel like other things have been worked, including the larger muscle groups. Like, how are you not going to work? How are you going to only work on hamstrings and not quadriceps and adductors?
Yeah.
If somebody is like a marathon runner, like you got to be thorough.
We'll run the Time Massage Jam here in Austin, and it's become this almost like existential crisis because the public comes in. Harry and Sally are a couple it's like a partner massage class,
Yeah.
but it's clothes on, mat based, and we work publicly. And I go,
Yep.
Harry, listen, I'm going to show you how to work on Sally's neck. And she's like, oh,
Yep.
yeah, his hands always get tired, you know? And I'm like, oh yeah, no, it's normal because these are like little muscles, you know?
Exactly.
So I help shift them to something else. They do it. And they're just like, this is like completely effortless.
Exactly.
This is so effective. They're like, why aren't massage therapists doing this? And I'm like,
So is it by design? Are we teaching that way to be less effective, or is there an alternative motive? Like, what is happening here? Where
So I really think there's
Thai massage has existed for a long time
culture.
in Thailand.
Culture.
Eastern massage has existed for a lot longer than Western massage.
Culture.
Why aren't we implementing all of that? I understand.
It's just a cultural box. It's like I like, okay, at first what I taught, 700 pages was, it's not Thai massage. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. Then they're like, this isn't massage. And I'm like, cool. I embrace the fact that I live in a state of complete equanimity and freedom beyond massage regulation, running next level pain relief globally from 4 camera angles. And they're like, wait, no, you can't. And I'm like,
I'm doing it.
Culture. It's just culture. It's just culture.
Yeah.
I live in Texas. And do you like barbecue?
Love barbecue, man.
And then like,
believe me, I'm gonna come to one of those jams one time. I'm gonna hang out in Austin.
So with barbecue, and it's like, I grew up in Louisiana. So South Louisiana particularly, a lot of pork and chicken, seafood. Very different food culture. When I got to Central Texas, beef took a little time. Now I have a cooking show on my Vice channel where I like smoke briskets and stuff, and it's basically from like, that as well. It's from the smokers that I'm rehabilitating from neighbors' garbage, basically. So anyway,
totally.
Like, what's like your favorite barbecue? Or barbecue items?
We have a place in town that I've frequented for most of my life, and it's the traditional like sweet, tangy barbecue sauce, and I like it on everything. I mean, I love the fall apart, burnt ends, ribs. I'm not a huge fan of chicken, honestly. I grew up eating barbecue. My dad would barbecue every damn weekend. And I can't eat the barbecue chicken anymore, but like there's a lot of great stuff. Pork in particular, oh my God.
And in our area in Central Texas is Post Oak. And I do this because it's a culture thing, right? And I go mesquite, and they're like, fuck mesquite. Dude, they fucking it's a war, man. They're like, no. The traditional Texas barbecue. And I'm like, traditional Texas barbecue as it exists in Texas is less than 150 years old. And I'm like, it's not European, it's not African, it's not Mexican, it's not Czech. It's like this amalgam of things that came together. Like, I don't, like, if somebody's like, man, we got whole hog North Carolina, I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. Like, I don't fight it, but I understand that the food culture changes. Now, when I ask therapists, what about massage culture? They're like, wait, what?
Yes.
And I'm like, yes. And the massage culture is being reinforced by regulatory infrastructure and schools and school owners.
But I think that's also changing. I notice a lot of people trying to implement other things, so much so that there is this now marketing and delineation between regular massage and or trauma-informed massage. There's a lot of people claiming to do somatic massage.
If I got a fork, could you like kick it through my eyeball to like relieve the pressure in my brain? Because when people started talking about somatic, I'm like, hold on, what the fuck is somatic? And I'm like, this sounds like everything I've been teaching.
Here's the thing. It is that way because before we're starting to do massage, we're having a human experience. And we need to overlay the understanding of those two, because what is happening within all of our bodies is a human experience before we're having some kind of other cultural experience. There's an overlay that people can't get, I think, through. And you could never, if you just worked with bodies, you would discover everything that is possible if you're paying attention and zoomed in. And you never have to call it anything. It's just what bodies do in certain contexts. Has somebody been in a car accident? Have they fallen out of a chair? Have they stubbed their toe? Have they had a loss? What is happening in that person's body, and how do they respond to stimuli? And what kind of stimuli? What stimuli is going to be the most effective, and
Yeah.
what conditions are going to be most effective? I have a client who wants me to run my AC at 61 degrees every time he comes in, and it's necessary because when he first started coming in, his nervous system was so acutely sensitive that it was uncomfortable to be in a warm room. So I temperature control all of my rooms, as well as I ask for what the optimal conditions for each client is before they come in. I prepare the room for how comfortable each person is going to be, and then I overlay that with my practice. But it has to be a human experience. What is the thing that somebody wants to receive, and how is it best for them to receive that?
The legal lines are super interesting. And then
Yeah.
like to be brief, there was a point at which my lawyer was like, "Robert, do you just want to give up your license?" Because
I do kind of.
because
I do kind of.
he
I'm
was
not willing
like,
to, but I kind of do.
if you give up your license, they can't really like the state regulators can't really do anything after that point. And I'm like, yes, but massage therapists won't respect me.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm willing. I don't even know if I need that anymore.
Yeah.
I think I'm really truthfully, I think a part of me wants to just be, oh, this is going to be tough. Essentially the troll, and just start doing the thing. Be like, well, why do we do this? Why is this happening?
Oh,
Because I think there is a place for that.
yeah.
If we just start asking these questions, people are drawn into those types of conversations.
Yeah.
And I think you feel maybe a little bit about the same way.
This isn't Thai massage. This isn't massage. And I'm like, well, I was a philosophy student. What is massage? And they're like, no, you always. And I'm like, cool. So what is traditional Texas barbecue?
Yeah.
It's a huge state. There's regional variants. And then it's like Valentina's Tex-Mex barbecue is now defunct, but I love their food specifically. Very different in Central Texas. And then it was like, yeah, it was barbecue, but it was Tex-Mex barbecue. They were taking a spin on it and going a slightly different direction, which I appreciated. And the thing is, it's like, okay, just within, say, Thai massage. Well, they're like, there's a northern style and a southern style. And I go, cool,
Yeah.
what does Thai massage become in Texas? And they're like,
Yeah.
what? And I'm like, so I was going to teach a class in New Jersey. This is a classic story. I tell all the time. I was going to teach a class in New Jersey. The teacher or the school owner was like promoting it. And then like some students in the comment section were like, yo, do you teach northern style or southern style? And I'm like, I teach Thai massage in the U.S. I've never been to Thailand. There are discussions and debates about the differences between northern style and southern style. What does that mean to you? And they said, well, I took a class in southern style, and the teacher had us chant in Pali for 3 hours before we did any body work. And I was like, fundamentally, I'm probably teaching a mix that's been like amalgamated.
Great.
And I'm teaching it for Westerners. It's primarily an American style of Thai massage.
Yep.
I call it Dirty South.
There you go.
And my fans were like shotgunning likes and machine gunning, like they were just rolling laughing, and it's like those cultural things don't make sense outside of Thailand.
Yeah, it's the bubble.
It's like when like, okay, if I talk to people and they're like, I love Asian cuisine, and I'm like, wow, Chinese, Lao, Thai, Cambodian, Japanese, like that doesn't mean shit. That's like, that's such a broad category that it doesn't even, and I'm like, cool, just China. Is it like Sichuan or Hunan? And they're like, there's differences? And I'm like,
yeah.
Now, I'm going to make
You mean it's not just panda? It's not just
Well,
panda stuff?
it's like it's cool. It's cool.
Not
Like,
just orange chicken?
well, I live in Texas, and I talk about this all the time to explain the concept. It's like jalapeno chicken runs in Texans' veins.
See, I've never heard of that.
Jalapeno chicken. And I'm like, jalapeno chicken is not fucking Chinese. Jalapeno chicken is something that Chinese immigrants made to satisfy Texans because they love jalapenos. So what do we have? We have cheap chicken and we have jalapenos. Make jalapeno chicken because they're not trying to sell to people who want authentic Chinese food. They're selling to fucking fat Texans who want some battered fried dish with jalapenos or whatever. It's like the cultural context,
regional
the cultural context matters in food, but I don't see therapists looking at that in terms of massage or what I call like niche bodywork services. Like every place, I'm like, I would tell students, and then my brand, they're like Elements, Massage Envy, Hand and Stone. They would throw, and I'm like, cool. What's the differences between their massage? And they're like, and they're like, I don't like all this brand shit. I don't like all this. I'm like, okay, cool. I understand. Listen, we're going to go to lunch. Do you want to go get a burger? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, where you want to go? What, a burger? I'm like, what about In-N-Out? Fuck In-N-Out. I hate In-N-Out. I hate their fucking fries. And I'm like, Fuddruckers, Wendy's, Hop Dotties, In-N-Out, Whataburger, Burger King, McDonald's. These are all distinct brands. They all sell a hamburger, fry, and drink experience. Now,
McDonald's is getting a lot of hate right now.
Well, deservedly, but it's like...
Yeah, they don't sell burgers, they sell products.
Yeah, at the same time, it's like, okay, cool. So what's the difference between those massage places? And they're like, oh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because massage is a commodity.
And the thing is Massage Envy is very successful for a few reasons. Yeah. And it's about what the end consumer is ready to experience. And not everybody is ready to experience something that is going to change the way that they think about themselves, the way they think about their body. I think there is a process that is maybe slower and less effective, but more effective for implementation overall. And I think Massage Envy and a lot of the corporate places do that well because it looks and feels like something that is safer than maybe somebody's personal space.
Yep.
Not everybody's ready to go into an office space with one individual working that day. They want 10 other people in a front
I've looked at this, and it's like coffee. I always use Starbucks. And like Starbucks just sells coffee. Why did they ascend to like the top of the coffee empire?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, but their coffee sucks. And I'm like,
real estate, the same thing with McDonald's locations.
So why do consumers choose? Because it's like okay, in Austin, keep Austin weird is the thing. Keep Austin weird is a slogan for local Austin businesses trying to compete with larger national franchises.
Yeah.
Where they want people to shop local.
Yeah.
So why do people, you can go to a local Austin coffee shop, like they exist, but why do people go to Starbucks?
I mean, brand recognition.
People say they like small independent things, but here's what consumers really like: reducing anxiety.
Yes. That's
because my coffee will be the same at any goddamn Starbucks I go to. It will be the same at every McDonald's I go to. And I want this. I've had this. I like this kind of experience. I don't even want anything else on the menu, just this one thing.
Yep.
Now, how individual is massage?
Exactly.
Like that conversation, like I think about this a lot, and I'm like, okay, Amazon. Everybody hates Jeff Bezos. He's on a yacht. I don't know, planning to go to space, eating babies, whatever the rich elites are doing at this point at the Epstein files or whatever the fuck is going on.
That's for sure.
I can't keep track. I'm just a witness, man. I'm just watching it circle the drain. So I'm like, everybody who hates Amazon has a pile of Amazon boxes on their doorstep. I'm like, why does
Yes.
everybody continue to buy at Amazon? And it's like, Robert, quicker, better, faster, cheaper, and more accessible.
Yep.
Quicker,
It's
better,
it's
faster,
actually
cheaper, and more accessible.
it
Robert,
changed the world.
what are you going to do with your business? I'm like, quicker, better, faster, cheaper, and more accessible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it'll do what it does. The whole issue is there's a lot of room between scope of practice law for massage in Texas that doesn't really say how you're interacting with soft tissue, that doesn't say what context you're interacting with soft tissue, that like there's just a huge, it's like saying art. It's like, well, is it a painting? Is it a sculpture? Is it a collage? Is it a spray paint on a wall? It's all art. But
You've seen the banana taped to the wall
Yeah.
that sold for like $250,000?
Yeah.
You know, that's
It's
somebody's art as well.
there's a huge range of like potential, but in the mass market, only what I see is very, very table cream glide and nudity
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in some form. So
I don't do that either. I do a lot of fully clothed massage in a well-lit room with communication happening 80% of the time. Like what I do, I think is vastly different to most clients who are coming in for the first time than what they've experienced before. But they like the results. And like
yeah,
that's what matters to me is like, is there a result? And before I even put hands on anybody in the initial process is like, what goal do you have for today? Because that's what I want to target and I want to reach that goal. Oh, I have these things going on and like this and this and this, and I was in this car accident. I'm like, great. I'm going to work on one to maybe two of those things. And in this hour, my intention is to create a result that you notice. And I'm going to qualify that throughout the session. We're going from a 10 to an 8 to a 6 to a 0, like you said. And they are participating in this process where it's like, oh, this is way different than just laying face down in a dark room with somebody like rubbing on me, and like maybe they only work on my back, but I told them I had leg problems, and oh, I didn't get this, and it's like this there's a lot of unresolved, I think, things that people say, because not oftentimes that I hear from my clients is the goals that they state before the session don't get addressed. And I address all of those things. That is something I'm extremely, it is extremely important in my practice. It's like, great, here's the other 5 things that you mentioned. I'd like to see you next week as well as the next 2 weeks, and let's address those, as well as we'll follow up on oh, you came back in and that thing in your shoulder still isn't back. That's awesome. We'll keep on working on these other things, and we'll address if something like that comes back. It's a continuous process if you want it to be that way.
yeah.
But I have friends who went to school with me. They also have education of 13 years. They work with sports therapists, but they only work, sports therapists. They work with athletes, professional athletes, as well as college athletes. But they've communicated to me that they don't really want to work on somebody more than 15 to 30 minutes at a time.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really want to address the major issues. They aren't interested in that. They want to play a role, use massage guns, use creams, do techniques that maybe get a result, but there's no measurement for.
Yeah.
And it's a preference. It's like, what role do you want to play? For me, my choice was always to help people continue to do what they love doing. If you haven't been able to run for the last 5 years, and all of a sudden you're competing at your gym and you're doing things that you haven't done and didn't think was possible, boom. That's my goal.
Yeah. The larger conversation is that barbecue can be a lot of different things.
Absolutely.
And what do you want it to be? And is it traditional? And I use that with quotes for a reason, because in a world that's so rapidly changing due to technology,
yep.
Like, I make this joke because I really just want to turn on my cameras and teach. I just want to take this out and go, cool, I'll just live stream 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year, and give you another 500 hours of footage every year. And they're like, well, how much? And I'm like, $7 a month. And they're like, this doesn't make sense anymore. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't know what a live stream is? And
I
they're
got a
like,
question about that
no,
as well.
we can't learn online. And I'm like, yeah, you and the Amish. That's what I noticed. It's only the Amish and massage therapists who can't learn online. Everybody else is using, ChatGPT, AI, and Google to like figure out the world. But therapists are this one category that can't learn online. And it's like,
As far as
you already
as far
know
as
the
I understand
anatomy.
it,
You already
school
know the
that I went to
physiology.
is now hybrid.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
It's
school
like,
that I went to is now doing hybrid classes, which is interesting.
and culturally, where were massage therapists taught they can't learn online?
I think in school.
Massage schools,
honestly, when I went
who
there,
have a vested
it was
interest,
very much hands-on. There was no hybrid.
who have a vested interest in making sure that laws are passed to make them the gatekeepers so that no one can compete with them.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Because it's a protectionist racket.
As far as what you're doing, are you working on the general public, or are you working on models that you pay for your live streams?
So I don't pay models. Usually it's somebody who wants some free work. There's a whole host of, sometimes it's a therapist that's local who just wants some free work and I have them come in. Sometimes it's somebody with a specific problem that I grab because they have upper back and neck pain and I need to show the student how to do that. Yeah. And then other times it's just I grab my girlfriend or whoever's available to be able to do that. It's a huge mix. And then even though I have had some classes to the public, my real bread and butter has been teaching therapists all these years. I'm just now really starting to get to the point where I'm trying to flip that and go to the public directly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Are there any consent agreements, or is there any like legal stuff that you're having people sign beforehand before being on camera? Like
not usually, but
I'm just getting into that.
Yeah, if you're dealing with it and you have concerns, generally what you can find is an audio video waiver. You can literally just look it up on Google, and it's a simple one-page contract agreement that says, hey, when I shoot this video, I can use it for whatever. And in my case, if someone ever, I don't know, I've had this happen one time. A student years ago, there was something in my video vault. She had done a private training with me. For some reason, she contacted me and said, hey, can you take that down? And I went, oh, yeah. And I just went, click, click, changed the settings on YouTube, and it's vanished. Like I didn't delete it. It just isn't available. So that's mostly how I've dealt with it. And I'm much more, as an entrepreneur, I'm less risk averse than some people. Totally. I have a tendency where it's like, I don't know, if you make it overly complicated, it's like who wants to sign a legal contract?
Exactly.
Like, guys, you want a copy of your class, right? And it's like, yeah. Well, it's like, well, that's why I record it. And they're like, oh, well, yeah, that's cool. Like, yeah, I want a copy of my class. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, there we go. So that's basically how it's worked. And then I have a big tendency. I've noticed that social media has become kind of like glossy, high production value, short snippets. I have a tendency to just turn on the goddamn cameras and go. And it reduces some of the Hollywood, but it's more like reality TV. And I prefer it just because there's so little post-production involved.
Yep. As far as I understand, the algorithms on certain platforms are now being programmed for just that, like putting that type of content out, as opposed to the hyper edited stuff.
Yeah, the whole social media landscape continues to change. I don't pretend to be an expert on it. I make use of it compared to a lot of therapists, but my business is also education. So it's like, it's varied. Like Lisa is a young therapist here I'm working with in town, and she wants to open a next level pain relief clinic. And I've had conversations with her because I'm like, okay, hold on. You run the facility. I'll train the staff.
Nice.
And she's like, how much? And I'm like, oh, I'll train the staff for free. And she's like, wait a second, what? Like for free? And I'm like, yeah, it gives proof of concept to what I'm doing. I'm not in a place financially to be able to afford commercial real estate to be able to even bootstrap it. And I'm busy teaching and trying to get a podcast and doing all this other stuff. So, let's do this. And we had a conversation. She had to put it on hold because she had some other business stuff going on. she asked me at one point, "Hey, we can get a bigger space if you can contribute to the rent." And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like, I can't. I'm sorry. I have too many other things going on. I can't. I can teach them. Like, you
Yep.
remember you said, like, how do you get people to be models? You get the staff that you're training to come in and be a model because they're learning while you're teaching other people online through the cameras. So
Right.
there's a lot of that going on. And she's like, she got to this point because we'd had a lot of conversations about the yoga community. They have big open floor plans and
Yeah.
ability to put mats down. She's like, can you go and teach? And I'm like, yes. And then she's like, why are you trying to teach via your cameras instead of going to yoga studios? And I'm like, Lisa, I mean this as politely as I can put it. Yoga studios are not going to be any more open to the messaging and what I'm trying to offer them than massage schools are.
Yeah.
What I teach eventually needs its own brick and mortar.
Yeah.
So it can stand alone because the communities push back too much. And just to give you an idea, I was teaching some massage therapists years ago, and I was teaching this thing where you put some pressure on the forearm with your foot, and it's just the client's laying down, and you just put some pressure in their forearm flexors.
Sounds great.
And I told the therapist, hey, do you mind if I teach this to yoga teachers? And they add it to like their Savasana assists, and they're like, and I'm like, really, guys? Like, yoga teachers can touch people legally, right?
Right.
Like, what? And it's like,
how much?
Because
how much can they touch
it's
people?
proprietary information that, as much as they tell me it's not massage, they still want to own it and feel like they're the only ones that can use it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that doesn't, like, we have partner massage classes. No big deal. Massage therapists have no issue with that. Why is it when I break it open and run a Thai massage jam, they're like, wait, hold on. Nope. Like massage therapists have a sort of professional identity that was formed and fused in massage school. There's
much like any other way of being institutionalized.
It's like if you're
have trouble being outside of that, right? It's a conditioned thing.
If I talk to people and go, okay, stand-up comedy, what's the difference between stand-up comedy and performance art? And they're like, was Andy Kaufman, was it performance art or was it stand-up? And then like, because Carrot Top and Bill Hicks are both comedians. Like it's like those lines start to blur, and that's where people, in my experience, clam up and get a little uncomfortable because they like
Gallagher.
Nice. I love, dude, Gallagher.
We're gonna date ourselves.
Gallagher's work when he put that map up of the United States, that shit is classic to me. Anyway,
comedy or performance art, right?
Yeah, it's like,
there's the lines.
Well, to me,
people do it really well.
To me, it's really good when it starts to break down.
Yes.
And at the moment, it would be Dave Chappelle, which I have this thing. Dave Chappelle, it's like, wait, is he like delivering a sermon or doing a comedy routine? Exactly. Is he trying? And I'm like, oh, no, he knows what he's doing. He's immensely intelligent. It's like he knows the art form. It's like I'd listen to old footage of like Lenny Bruce, and I'm like, there's a reason Lenny died of heroin. Like Lenny's brain was so ultra modern in terms of the things he was discussing that I was shocked to hear someone in his era discussing the things he was discussing as like fast as he was discussing it. It's like the man helped protect like civil liberties in terms of free speech in the United States, but you almost have to be a comedian to know who he is. It's like,
right.
Once you get to a certain point, those symbols start to break down where it's like, it's not Thai massage. Okay. It's not massage. Okay. And I'm like, cool, if you need a next level pain relief. And they're like, no, you can't. And I'm like, guys, fuck, I don't understand. Like, you keep telling me I don't fit into the boxes that you feel comfortable with. So fuck it. I'll just make my own box. I'll just make my own lane. I'm tired of like arguing about this namby-pamby bullshit. Like, listen, the clients love it. People get help. What's the problem?
Yep.
And it's like,
and who is massage for? who is massage for? I think there is also a really big misconception about who actually gets massage and what that means. I think it's important to understand the different spaces or the different types of way or places you are to even receive massage. Mostly before I became a massage therapist, I thought it was a luxury service, but I was in significant pain. The story that I tell people about my massage journey was I was working for a hospital at one point, and vendors would come in and they would sell all kinds of stuff and jewelry. And one vendor had for sale massage packages. I had never received a massage in my life, but I had significant low back pain. I had sciatica at the time. I had tingling and numbness in my right hip and glute, but I had never received massage. And I thought, okay, well, I finished PT, so this is something I'm going to live with for the rest of my life. There's nothing they can do because there was nothing that got done within the hospital setting. So I bought the massage package. It was something like $300. And you know what I did with it? Absolutely nothing. It expired worthless. I never went to one of them because I didn't have an idea of what massage could do for me at that point. I had no context.
Huge piece is public education.
Public education is huge. And as far as like what's available, most massage therapists that I've talked to don't even realize that there are hospital-based massage therapy programs. I worked in a hospital as well, doing massage therapy for oncology patients and patients of the hospital. So I saw a lot of really interesting surgeries, a lot of people in acute pain, a lot of people in, later in life who were coming into this clinic for different things, including mastectomies and other oncology related needs. But there's also a program in UCSF in San Francisco that has a massage therapy based program that I was aware of at the time. I spoke with a therapist who did that program, and she was working directly with people, even in ICU. So there are applications which I think are amazing, which I would love to see more of. But there's not many massage therapists who I think are knowledgeable enough to know that they can go in that direction as well. And there's probably even fewer who want to. I don't know if there's any people at Massage Envy who are like, yeah, those are totally the people that I want to work with. The people in the ICU who are just coming out of like heart surgery or something like that, which I think massage therapy has great application for, but I don't think it is necessarily understood how therapeutic massage therapy can be. There is such a wide spectrum. It's not just rubbing lotion on people. This is a therapeutic process that can be applied to a wide range of things within the human experience. And it is super effective. Super effective. I believe in it wholeheartedly. I've dedicated most of my life to it at this point, and I would love to dedicate another 13 years to massage therapy practice. I'd love to get to the point where I can say I've been in the massage therapy industry for the last 24 years. Yeah. But I don't want to make the next 14 years doing the same thing that I've been doing the whole time.
There was another like story I'll tell. There was a student who was coming in as an apprentice from, I think, Oklahoma. And she's a yoga teacher and a massage therapist. So if anybody's going to understand what I'm teaching, it's probably them. And she looked at my online curriculum, looked at the stuff we did in the first couple of apprenticeship trainings, and she's like, Robert, where is this going? And I was like, ooh. And we had another 2 hours, and I took out a foam roll and worked on her upper back and neck, and then was working on her pecs and doing all this advanced stuff and mobilizing her neck and using my shin here and, like doing all this stuff. And then in the last 15 minutes, I went, okay, so you understood where we started. You understand where we are now. So now I want you to take what we just did, and I want you to work on 8 clients at once in a next level pain relief class for upper back and neck pain. And she's like, Robert, you have to stop.
Slow. Wait, too far.
This is completely overwhelming. Like she was almost having an emotional response. She's like, you have to stop. And I'm like, no, but there's the promised land. We can go.
Yeah.
We can go. I can show you. It's easy. It's super
Yeah.
easy. Now, are massage schools going to support that? Is the
And
yoga
I think this is
community
the biggest
going
issue
to support
is
that?
scale. Is scale. How do you scale effectively with how do you find all of the therapists who are willing to receive? Totally. I mean, if you have a way, like, dude,
Yeah,
I would love to
I
have
can teach
continued
from 4
conversations
camera
about.
angles live globally, internationally, and could do so 5 years ago. And I can't get enough therapists to train with me online because they were taught in school that they can't learn online. The state of Texas law, you can't teach hands-on instruction online for CE credit. Why?
Wait, so hold on, let's slow down there. Are you looking for CE credits? Are you looking
Well,
to
therapists are.
participate? Not always. Not
Are you
always.
sure?
I know that that's something
If you
people.
teach something and you you don't offer CE credits, therapists don't want to study it. They've only got so much money to spend. They need their CEs.
I often wrestle with this as well. So if the information is that good, is it more beneficial to start a business around it, charge and try to generate interest, or is it more advantageous to give it out for free? Because in another 20 years, when I'm in my 60s, do I want the best quality of massage? How do I put that out there and participate in that process?
Yeah.
I want to receive like amazing work later on in life, but does creating a business around it slow the information down?
So basically, massage therapists and the Amish are the only people who can't learn online,
Yeah.
is my joke. I go, okay, hold on. Let me look at this from a different angle. So the same information, basically, you teach it as a partner massage class, you get the public to come on, you charge a couple $50 for a live stream for 2 hours.
Yep.
If you get 10 couples and you charge them $50, you make $500 in 2 hours. Now, can you do that once a week? Because if you could do that once a week, that's $2,000 a month, and $2,000 a month becomes $24,000 a year extra. If you roll that $24,000 into ads, now you scale it up to 100 couples at $50, and you make $5,000 every 2 hours.
Yeah.
Now, that's perfect math. It never works out that way. But it's like,
Exactly.
if there's a market, just go serve the market. The public who wants to learn how to work on their wife, Charla, doesn't care that it's online. You mean the stream? Yeah, you just put it on your big screen TV. You don't even need a table. Don't have to take off clothes. You're going to work right in front. I'm going to show you how to work on her neck pain. Then it's like, cool. If you need more, I could do a one-on-one. I could do a private. Oh, you can act. I'm like, yeah, in Zoom, I can do a one-on-one where I'm flipping camera angles live to be able to work with you. The problem is there's a tiny, infinitesimally small number of therapists who want that. If I assume that the same percentage of the public will convert, let's just say it's 1% just to get a number. If only 1% of the public wants it, how much larger is the public audience than the massage therapist market?
As far as I understand, only 16 to 25% of people in the United States have ever received a massage. 75% have never received a massage.
And it's like,
it's
okay,
it's still a big amount, and even less people are massage therapists.
There's 300,000 massage therapists in the United States. What's U.S. population? And I'm going to say that the percentage of people I'm teaching who are massage therapists, this market with the public is 1,000 times larger. Why am I arguing with people instead of just going to teach them directly?
I totally agree.
This makes more sense. And it's like the feedback I get all these years at the Time Massage Jam, it's a public event, is like the public is always like, dude, this is awesome. Why aren't massage therapists doing this? And I'm like, because massage therapists are responding to what they believe the public already wants, which is massage, which has been codified by their school.
Now, I will say there are some bumps in that process, and it does come back to safety and who you're working with, because not everyone is safe and not everyone has good intentions about learning these things in order to work with the general public. I think the more, I guess the analogy that I want to use is like, I think like birds of paradise. They set up their nests and they do the dance, and if the nest isn't perfect, then they don't essentially attract the mate. And I think like some corporate places like Massage Envy, Hand and Stone, they have the nest that makes it feel safe enough that there are guardrails in place that prevent a lot of unwanted things from happening.
Yeah.
And I think that is a necessary part of the process.
Ooh, hold on just 1 second.
Yep, specifically for massage therapists
Yeah.
to receive more regular massage and body work. And I thought the bringing together people. Are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay, bringing together people.
I can
on a
also
more
edit it out later if you decide.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. Bringing together people, because this is also my intention. Bringing together people on a regular basis would help kind of learn different things about massage techniques, learn from different people in the massage therapy industry, depending on how long they've been or how short they've been in the industry. But my goal was like on a weekly basis. Consistency is a big thing for me, because that's the thing that helped me a long time ago. I was in essentially pain for like 10 years just because I didn't have any information. I didn't have any contact for pain relief, and I used to be very active. I would run, I would hike, I would do lots of things. I'm familiar with exercise, but I always had this nagging pain in my hip, low back. Maybe on a quarterly basis, a couple of times a year, my whole right side would seize up and spasm, and I couldn't understand why until I got into massage school. But essentially, I made a post years ago for networking and practice within the massage therapy industry, and I held a couple of different workshops which were really successful. But I did find one thing that happened every time I brought a group of people together, is there would be almost this peacocking experience.
Yep.
Where it would be like, I'm gonna patent my moves, and like I don't want anybody seeing what I do because like this is my thing. And it's like it's an interesting thing that happens, I think, as far as insecurity about effectiveness, and maybe being in a room where people are confident or less confident, depending on how you organize the space. And there's plenty of massage therapists who don't want to receive massage from somebody who's less experienced.
Yep.
And that's, I think, troubling in some way. I think participation on a regular basis and sharing those experiences really help everybody, including somebody who's been in practice for 10, 20, 30 years. I love to receive massage. I do try to receive it as often as possible. In fact, I've got a massage booked for myself tonight, with somebody that I think is a great therapist, but, they do it also part-time. Their main job is like dental hygienists. And although they do massage part-time, they really enjoy it. But it's not something they have a business around. It's not something they completely practice. They work as a massage therapist part-time, and I like receiving massage from them whenever I can. But I also work with other therapists who also are sports massage therapists, who work with professional athletes, who've worked on Olympic athletes, and there's a spectrum. But like I like working with everyone. I've worked with students. I worked with people who have freshly graduated, and it's like, oh my God, that was amazing. I think everybody should be coming together regularly. I have a 4 room commercial space that I've rented to a multitude of therapists, from estheticians, psychologists, other massage therapists.
The bulk of the networking that massage therapists are doing is probably through AMTA or ABMP and like CE classes. Outside of that, for me to be outside and go Thai massage jam, they're like, Mm,
I know.
like I take a CE class and I'm like,
I
well, I
know.
have a CE class coming up. It's like $400, and they're like, huh. And I'm like, you can learn the same stuff for free at the jam, and they're like, huh, because it's not the context that they're being trained to like receive
Well,
the information.
you're not Starbucks, AMTA, AMBP.
I mean,
There's
dude,
there's
oh
there's something
god,
there.
good lord. So you have no idea, like the conversation we would have if I was having tequila
We
and
will have
beer.
those conversations. I guarantee
Like
it.
that
We'll do
podcast
the after dark conversation as
doesn't get
well.
recorded because Robert's deep down internal opinions. This is the glossy, cleaned up
Yeah, yeah.
version. Like
That's
they
fine.
have no idea what it's like. And I know I'm in the trenches here. You talked about essentially bad actors. And what I heard coming was like regulatory stuff in terms of like sexual impropriety, people
Yeah.
raping each other or whatever. It's like
Even
the
more than that, hurting each other.
yeah. And the
I've
issue
heard
is
I've heard of that too. I know a practitioner in my hometown that, believes that pain is a part, like real pain is a
yeah.
part of this process. And, I worked on his partner before, and it was almost like working on an abuse victim. She was just like flinching and like, she's like, none of this is painful. I'm like, oh, it's not supposed to be actually. Like you should feel good when you get out of
The
this.
time massage jam will concern people because I've seen a therapist like look around and go like, who has a license? And I'm like, well, he does, and I think she does. And then they're just like, these people are going to kill each other. And I'm like, really? Like, how often are people injured in partner massage classes? And they're like, oh, well, I'm like, guys,
Yeah.
normally somebody says ow way before an injury happens. There are exceptions, but it's like if it was dangerous, there'd be like bodies lined up outside the jams in my studio. Like we've run it for 14 damned years. Nobody's ever been injured. Like very low risk of harm. Not none, but very low risk. When it comes to like impropriety, this is the one that massage therapists believe that massage licensure is protecting them from like human trafficking.
Mhm.
I do not agree with that assessment at all. And I could talk about the math on this, but it's bad enough that I want to take out the fork and ask you to drive it through my brain. Like
I get it.
it's so frustrating because there's already rules and laws against prostitution and human trafficking. Go get them. And they're like, no, we don't have enough money for enforcement. We need to raise your fees. And I'm like, you need to
Yep.
raise my fees, though what I do is completely clothed, done
Yeah.
publicly, and has almost zero risk of sexual impropriety. And they're like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Exactly.
guys, I already have 3 licenses in Texas.
Yeah.
They get renewed every 2 years, just like everybody else.
Yeah. I had when I worked for the hospital as a massage therapist, we were required to get even though we were working for the hospital, we were required to get a business license through the city. And when I went and actually talked to the people who were kind of taking me through that process, they had to get a manager approval because this particular area was well known for trafficking. And there are a lot of those resistances. I'm like, no, 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 you already work with this hospital. Like, I'm just trying to work for them. They're like, I don't know. And there's a lot of resistance, particularly in some areas. Like, I could never get a business license as an individual, as a small business in this particular city. They don't grant them.
Yeah.
As well as a few other cities. Like I would love to expand. I would love to have multiple offices, but there are some places that just do not give out business licenses for individual practitioners. They give them out to corporations because you gotta grease the wheel, right? And as long as you're bringing in a certain amount of money, it's like, oh, okay, well, no problem. Well, you work under them, and that's fine. But like, I was at a hospital. This is this is a professional environment. This is for like oncology patients, as well as other people. And it's like, how is it so difficult to help people? And yet the people who are perpetuating these crimes, they're not worried about any of that. They're not looking for a business license. I mean, they are, but somehow they get approved, and it's like they're getting shut down on it. I think they shut down 20 prostitution,
Dude,
massage therapy places in the last year.
I think it's the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. They shut down a couple of schools in Texas, including one in Austin.
Like legit schools, or were they all up front?
Well, I mean, how do you define legit?
I mean, were they trafficking, or were they trafficking?
So I don't know all the details. Don't quote me on this. They were either assisting human traffickers, falsifying records, or whatever. And it's like,
and here's the thing is, what does it mean to assist? Because although that was covered while I went to school, the extent to which it exists, I think, isn't necessarily well known.
I'm going to throw some quick data at you. And this first number is not, I'm going to make a guess, but in the calendar year 2024, I got an email from TDLR. 67% of all Texas massage exams for licensure were taken in simplified Chinese.
60%? Can you repeat that?
67% of all massage licensure exams were taken in simplified Chinese.
Like, wait, this is blowing my mind. You mean like the MBLEX?
When you take the exam in Texas to get your license, 67% of those exams were taken in simplified Chinese.
Bro.
Are we ready? Here's another number. It's wonderful. 98% of the exams that were taken by people out of state were taken in simplified Chinese. I know what your brain is doing.
Dude.
And I'm like, so I can't teach. Fuck.
I know this is.
I was at a convention. So I'm not going to name names. I was at a convention.
I'm trying to avoid naming names.
I met this guy, and the guy worked with the state for like regulatory stuff and whatever. And it's like, this is the first person, a leader, that I have like a conversation with. And I go, yo, man, when's the state of Texas going to allow hands-on instruction online for CE credit? He turned red. Never. The state of Texas will never allow online. And I'm like, whoa, bro, good God. Like, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? And he's like, it's going to lead to human trafficking. And I'm like, what the fuck does CE classes have to do with human trafficking? Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, if they allow it for CE, they're going to eventually allow it for core curriculum. And if they allow it for core curriculum, it's going to lead to more human trafficking. So what we've got is the slippery slope theory of education.
But it doesn't apply all the way across, because in Canada, there is legalized, I think, sexual massage.
Provinces are different. Yeah, I don't know all the laws there. Yeah.
But it's not the same. So I listen to the Two Massage Therapists and a Microphone podcast often. I love those guys. They do great work. They talk about a lot of important topics, as well as they have a lot of great guests on. And they do it very well. And they say fuck often, which I really enjoy. It really adds an element to
I'm
this
a fan.
It adds it's so inviting. And I think there's a lot of floweriness in this industry, which can be balanced out with other attitudes. So, I'm happy to promote them as often as possible.
The issue, like, as an entrepreneur, like I would sit and have a class in my home, essentially in my studio, and the students are paying $400, and I go, guys, I could deliver the same information to you like via my cameras.
Yeah.
And then do it for a fraction of the cost, but the state of Texas doesn't allow me to teach hands-on instruction online. And they're like, what? And it's like, guys, that law that you haven't read, I cannot teach hands-on instruction online for CE credit. Why?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I mean, and I'm like, because I would give Texas therapist CE credit for free forever for the rest of my life, and massage schools don't want competition. And they're like, what? And I'm like, oh my. Like, listen, there's got to be somebody on fucking Earth. If you're listening to me, we're on this orb floating through the fucking Milky Way galaxy. There's got to be somebody who just wants to fucking learn how to help people. I don't give a shit if you have a license. I don't give a shit if you live in Afghanistan. I don't give a shit if you're in Pakistan. I don't care what your religion, creed, class is. I just want to show you how to help people.
Yeah.
Our industry is like, no, you can't give our secrets. And I'm like, secrets? Are you fucking out of your mind? Dude, I've been trying to give this shit away for like 15 fucking years. Like, secrets? Like, there are no fucking secrets. I just turn on the cameras. Like, anybody can learn how to use this stuff. Anybody.
Right.
The public.
And I think that's the weird thing is like, what is all this gatekeeping? Like, how is that beneficial to anybody?
Because it allows massage therapists to look at themselves as an elite protected class.
Yeah.
I'm special. I have a license. These people do not. And I'm like, but I'm not necessarily training people to do it for money. I'm just like showing Maud how to work on her husband, Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who cares? For me, my work, it just expands enough where they're like, this guy is not, he's not following the rules. And I'm like, oh yeah, but I follow the law. And they're like, oh shit. Like, they don't know conceptually like what to do. Basically, this is really how my business got built. Mm-hmm. The medical system fucked me. They had no answers. They help you with your soft tissue problems?
Hell no.
So
that was part of the problem. Dude, I suffered for 10 years because I didn't get any answers.
And it's like, bro, I can say this very proudly, for the most part, was a chronic pain sufferer. I am not now because other than some osteoarthritis in my neck, I don't have any problems the way I used to. But after I got screwed by the medical system, I got screwed by the legal system because now it's, legal bullshit from a car accident and whatever. And it was like, then you became a massage therapist, you started working, and you realized that the very organizations and companies that were set up to like deal with the licensure were also like limiting things in other ways. It was like limiting growth. And it was like, I kept trying to, basically you get blocked. Yeah. It's like, if I taught in core curriculum, got them ready to pass the NBLEX, the people that I taught after 9 months would be completely unemployable at a massage envy. Because I'll teach you to do the shit you need for the exam, but I'm going to expand and help you be the best goddamn body workers that Texas has ever produced. And the school's like, this guy is fucking everything up. He is running around like a madman with cameras. Like, this is insanity. But I just show people how to help people. Mm-hmm. It's not a big deal. Not to me.
Well, that's where you got to be careful, because I think it is a big deal because helping people is lucrative and you may be cutting into somebody else's business, right? And that is a touchy subject because if you help people really well, let's just say you find the cure for chronic pain, that puts a lot of people out of business as far as like the pharmaceutical industry.
Listen, if the Sackler family is listening, you could go fuck yourselves. Because I talk about the Oxycontin epidemic and everybody just looks at me like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, bro, people are in pain. And part of that pain is because they lack connection.
Yes. Oh, man. Well, this we're getting into
Guess what the Time Massage Jam does?
We're getting into deep water. We're getting into deep water now.
And it helps empower people to work on themselves. It doesn't detract from massage therapists, if anything. It just helps expand the paradigm so that more people, like people have gone to our Time Massage Jams and then went to massage school. Yeah. But they don't go to massage school typically and then come to our jams because it's like, no, they're fucking like weird. I don't know. This isn't what we were trained and codified as doing. That's all. It's a cultural thing. It's just different. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think that what we do gets rid of chronic pain. No, there'll be plenty of people still in pain, but it's like, can we give people skills and resources they can use to help their friends, family, loved ones, expand the sense of compassionate touch, help massage therapists learn to work in a way that's not deleterious and physically harming? And then, yes, 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 yes,
So,
yes.
so as a thought experiment, this is not true. I'm just throwing things out there. But I like to push the envelope of ideas and like what is possible. And let's just say, perfect world scenario, this is non-existent. So you as a therapist, Robert, can't claim that you have the cure for chronic pain. But how well, if you were able to reach, let's just say, half of the US population, and half of the US population eventually had your knowledge base, would chronic pain decrease as a whole overall if more people were participating in this process of what maybe can be called massage?
So refine that question a little bit.
If more people did what you were doing, would
Yeah.
chronic pain as a whole decrease?
Yes. I think it would decrease to the point where the United States is not very good at preventative medicine.
Absolutely. There's a gap. There's a need. There's a
Once
need to be
you need a
filled.
surgery, that's not. Thank you so much to EMS and doctors and the like meds. Like, thank God for morphine and opiates and when they're necessary. Like
Yes.
surgeries and stitches and stuff. But like
Emergency medicine's great.
preventative medicine for people dealing with depression, anxiety, a host of other issues. It's like
Yeah.
widespread adoption of what I'm teaching would foundationally change the healthcare system in America.
Perfect. So I believe that as well. But scale is the important thing. And there are guardrails for these types of practices for scaling. I think there are guardrails for a reason. I don't know those reasons, but it feels like there's intention behind those reasons. There are these other factors, be it safety issues that are maybe a concern, that are maybe appropriate or overinflated. I don't know. I'm just guessing. That keep larger groups of people from having this information. And I've got another 10 minutes and I've got to run. I want to have I think larger conversations.
We could do another podcast. Don't even worry about that.
Yeah.
But what do you think the guardrails are for?
I think they are for this is hard. Truthful answer. I think these practices are a human experience that were better understood in smaller collectives and cultures. I think these can be cultural things that were then maybe changed in a way that in our culture are now have to be outsourced. Everything is outsourced. And if we look at like maybe even Japan and the loneliness epidemic, now connection is something that you can pay for. Having a friend is something you can pay for. All of these things are becoming so separate as we disconnect from what otherwise used to be just inherently true. In our culture.
Have you heard Jim Gaffigan's comedy routine about massage?
No, but I love Jim Gaffigan.
So I don't look it up online. Like, find out what routine it is and watch Jim Gaffigan. It was hilarious. Like,
Okay.
massage
I'm just
therapists
gonna
were
put a note.
angry about the stuff that he said because of the caricature. But I think from an outsider's perspective of him as an artist, I think he did a good job of like breaking down the fact that like your family doesn't want to work on you. And I'm like,
Hilarious.
Ooh, it's so brutal. Yeah.
And there's definitely a reason for that, but there's also plenty of people. Like I know I've sent my family to other people. It's good to know other people. There is a certain relationship that you don't want to have with everyone.
Yes.
And my dad has had chronic pain from a number of different things. I mean, he's had a
Yeah.
ton of accidents and injuries
So
for different reasons,
for,
but like he wants to go to other people because that's what falls under his insurance and he needs to use
yep,
it.
as my fees for sessions went up, it was less accessible. And
Yeah.
as my sessions for classes went up, it's less accessible. The
Yep.
Thai Massage Jam became this outlet where I go, it's free.
Yeah.
Here you go. And they're like,
Yeah.
therapists are like, no, I want a CE. I'm like, CE costs. Education is free. And
Exactly.
they're like, oh.
I think we have a lot of things in common in that way because I don't charge for the workshops that I've hosted as well. It's a free experience. I want people to share an education. I want people to learn. And I would love to have, 10 to 15 brand new graduates hanging out here with maybe 10 or 15 other people that have been in the industry for 20 years. I think that's important to have those experiences, relationship, communication. And it has also been relayed back to me after these workshops have finished that like, wow, it was amazing to work with all of these different groups of people. But it doesn't happen often. And I know this industry can be isolating, especially for entrepreneurs who are running their own business.
It's
It's a great outlet.
Massage
to have people
therapists
in.
are in private rooms with one person
Yes.
at a time. And I go,
Yes.
come on, let's get together. And they're like,
Yes.
God damn it. Like you're not conforming.
Yes.
And I'm like, why did you ever think that I was going to conform? Why?
Yeah.
Not everybody needs to like me. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that as well. I think we're in alignment on a lot of
Like,
these things.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to the after dark maybe conversation. Maybe
dude,
that's
it's like
this.
we
we can have a different conversation later on.
My brain is half the time on fire because
Yeah.
it's like I can't express like unless I'm in counseling, like what's going
Yeah.
on. And even if I express it to my lawyer doesn't care about, I hate to say this, justice. He's trying to keep me out of prison. It's like he's looked at me with a wink and a nod. He's like, you see how corrupt it is? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
You see how I'm a lawyer. I navigate this shit for a living. It's like, it's fucked up. Like,
I mean, we're starting. This is the thing is like that we're in a new paradigm now. Now that everybody is looking at what's in the files that are coming out, there were a lot of therapists who were recruited for specific services, but that's not something that I was ever taught. Like that's not like there's a lot of in this industry, the industry that we work in, that participated, and who knows. Do the heads of these larger
I don't even
know?
I don't even spend a lot of time trying to argue about what massage is. I'm like, this is what next level pain relief is. It's done on a mat, clothed, and done publicly. A next level pain relief clinic has no private rooms and will install cameras so we can record everything.
I want to do that as well. I just started implementing cameras.
This is insane.
Yeah.
This is insane.
It doesn't have to be that way.
And then they go, this isn't massage. And I'm like, great. Then we don't need licenses in all 50 states. And they're like, fuck, dude, what the fuck? And I'm like,
but just stay lawyered up though.
No, I have a lawyer. I don't make big moves. Like being an asshole is not illegal yet. And then it's like, I don't do things to like break the law, but it's like students haven't read scope of practice to understand what the actual scope of practice is. And if you just go, okay, remember I said intraoral or whatever, it's like, corrective exercise. It's like, what's the definition? And they're like, Robert, you always do this. And it's like, well, because I read the law to figure out where the physical therapists and the doctors and the chiropractors installed their own special loopholes because they have lobbyists.
Yes.
Because they've worked together.
Yeah.
To set the law.
And as far as I understand, Jan 1, 2026, I think massage therapists in California are now considered healthcare. It has been distinguished, but nobody knows what that means as well as there's no infrastructure. There's no way to implement it. And, I do get, like I've gotten requests for medical records from lawyers and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm not a medical office. Like I do massage.
Yeah.
and I don't guarantee results. I don't track those things because it's not within scope of practice. So you're asking me to do something that like I'm not even legally required. So I have to like answer with like, well, I can send you a receipt, I can send you the dates,
Yeah.
but I'm not necessarily like telling somebody when they come in that this is going to happen. I'm not a physical therapist. I'm not pretending to be. I always tell my clients like, yeah, do physical therapy, use your insurance. I'm
I
going to
talk
support it.
about next level pain relief. I talk about conditions.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're going to reduce your pain, chronic pain management. We're going to
perfect.
Carpal tunnel, reduce your pain. Headaches, reduce
Yes.
your pain. You know,
Yes.
thigh pain, reduce your pain, whatever. And they're
Yes.
like, no, man, you're like diagnosing and treating conditions. And I'm like,
No.
no, I'm selling soft tissue pain management. And they're like, bro, we can't sell soft tissue pain management. We can only do massage.
Yeah.
And I go, I didn't diagnose anything. The clients are self-diagnosing carpal tunnel syndrome. And they're like,
that, and they're getting a diagnosis.
Oh, I never. And it's like, here's the thing. If I tell a therapist, listen, run ads on Facebook and say that you help people with carpal tunnel syndrome. And they're like, no, I can't do that. And I'm like,
yeah.
Why? Stretch Lab does.
Exactly.
Stretch Zone does. And they're like, Robert.
Exactly.
And it's like, selling massage as a service is just fine if that's what you want to do and your hopes and dreams are set on that. But I was trying to sell pain relief. Like, you can go get a massage anywhere. You're going to come to me if you need some help. Like, I literally want to take nextlevelpainrelief.com and go, do you want a massage or do you want to get better?
There you go.
And the therapists will be the first ones to get angry because they'll feel like I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. My sessions are 3 hours long. I use a suspension and stand on people. It's close on, mat base, and includes elements of like yoga therapy and pain science. This is not available. The clients will freak out and go, dude, I don't fucking, Jesus Christ, this isn't even available. And I'm like, where are the students? I don't care. I just want people to like get a little bit, it's just like partner massage. They get a little bit, they work on each other. Yay. Public education has happened. They've realized that they don't have to hurt themselves to help each other. Yay. Touch intimacy increases, stress levels go down. Yay. Connection happens. There's less depression. Yay. Then the licensed therapist, eventually, these people go, well, where can I go get a session? And I'm like, the student directory is right there. Just flip through your city or state and find a practitioner in your area. That's all. Just want to help people. Why? What is all these rules? When everybody blocks, I got squeezed out on the internet. And then what I found out during COVID was, wow, this is like a free open space for an anarchist. Can I hang like a pirate flag and just sail the seven seas? Like, there's no fucking rules here. This is awesome. Like, I can just go help people. And I can help people for pennies on the dollar. And the therapists are like, no, but we want hands-on. And I'm like, cool, fly to Austin. And they're like, but it's expensive. And I'm like, guys, location, cost, and time is a brutal Venn diagram. And you can only have 2 out of 3.
Yeah. It's wild, man.
They're like, I want hands-on. And I'm like, you want it to be more expensive and less available. And they're like, no, that's not, I want it to be hands-on. And I'm like, you want it to be more expensive and less available.
Yeah.
Because they're not looking at the core. It's like, listen, you already know the anatomy. You already know how to deal with sensitivity, touch, pressure, client care, all that stuff. I can teach 10,000 people a day for $7 a month.
It's pretty good.
1% of massage therapists is 3,000, if there are 300,000 massage therapists in the U.S.
Yeah.
3,000 people a day could learn with me via my online portal. And I can teach them for 2 hours a day. Ready? 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, 72 weeks a year. That's a lot of weeks in a year.
You should almost what is it? Revamp the model to like an MLM and then sell the program to massage therapists so they can sell the program to other massage therapists and then do a little.
I don't like, I'll figure it out when I grow up. I'm still trying to like figure out how to do it. So remember I said the students will come in and take a class that costs $400. I go, guys, listen, let's do this. They're like, no, I want hands-on. I'm like, okay, cool. I never stopped teaching hands-on. COVID was rough, but it's like, otherwise I was like, how about this? We're going to expand so that I've got 10,000 students online, and then your CE classes are now free.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, but we want hands-on. And I'm like, guys, you're going to come to my studio and train, and your class is now free with your CEs. And they're like, what? I don't understand. And I'm like, if I'm charging $7 and I have 10,000 members, I make $70,000 a month, or $840,000 a year. Now that I make $840,000 a year, I can just give you CE credit for free. And they're like,
done.
What? I don't understand. And I'm like, everybody's those 10,000 people are participating from home, guys. The cameras.
You're dedicated.
The cameras.
You're dedicated.
And they're like, no, but we want hands. I'm like, am I explaining live stream to the Amish? I don't understand what's going on. This is not a new idea. This is not new in other industries, but our industry is just like,
it's not in the box, Robert. Put it back in the box. I've got to run. I've got a birthday to head off to.
Cool.
This was a pleasure, and I don't think it'll be the last time.
Okay. Yeah, just contact me. We'll plan another one. Can you tell them where to find you?
You can find me at AlamedaWellnessCollective.com for appointments, and you can find me at John Ojeda on Facebook. Hit me up, send me a message. I'm always open to connecting with massage therapists. And I love what I do. I'll be doing this the rest of my life in some way or some form. It was a pleasure doing this. I always love all this kind of stuff.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Robert Gardner Wellness Podcast. Much more to come. Thank you, John. And we'll see you again very, very soon.